while I tell you I'm a Hispanic hillbilly, for me this award is more about not what I'm able to accomplish today with the power and the sense of justice that I've begun to learn about through the many years. This award is about really where I began my journey with Upward Bound. And to be here tonight to thank you all and to thank a man by the name of Carlos Lovato, who was another Hispanic hillbilly. New Mexico is here, all 11 of us. Let's give them a round of applause. New Mexico. And the reason I want to take you back to Carlos Lovato and a couple decades ago was that I was, in being a Hispanic hillbilly, I was shy and ashamed and part of a forgotten community in northern New Mexico, 300 people. And more important than my own struggle, I came from a community that had never had a person become an attorney in the 150 years that those families have been homesteading. And I had a view of power at the time in that we were powerless, and that I come from a mother, a wonderful mother, single, food stamps, who was afraid to go into her own public school to ask how her son was doing in classes because she was afraid of the school board. That she understood power through the lens of being powerless, in that we applied for food stamps, and half the time we didn't know what we were signing. We were just happy to get a benefit. That was the country that I knew at that time. And so it was a little bit of an honor for this Hispanic hillbilly a few days ago when there were another set of Americans who were fighting for their constitutional rights, young people who came here by no fault of their own, but who had become American and who had been educated in your institutions and been given work permits and also passed background checks and wanted to volunteer and work with Homeland Security, all for the pursuit of the American dream, just so they could get the opportunity that you all believe in today. And so I had to sue the President of the United States over the DREAM Act. I believe they are American. I believe they are as American as many of us are. And my message here in gratitude tonight and thanking you is that you do so much more than just open a door. You do so much more than fight with your own systems to get kids in that door. You truly are superheroes with superpowers, and I'll tell you why. A lot of times it just seems that we're opening the door for an individual and you don't know what that kid is going to do in their community. But when there is injustice, when there is opiate epidemics and crime and the justice system isn't doing the right thing, and you have the ability to kick out our little U.S. attorney here, Tamara Nash, I believe she's a superhero who's going to make a difference for many people who don't see the light and who don't believe in justice. You're superheroes because a kid from Wagon Mound, 300 people, who never thought he would even be the first attorney to graduate, is coming from a community that does not create attorneys general in their own community. It's Carlos Lovato, the little superhero bus driver from Upward Bound, who would make a kid wake up when the kid didn't want to get up, and then they realized, wow, they pay us. Carlos was persuasive. He said, little kid, Hispanic hillbilly, get on the bus. We've got things to do. And even though he's not here, and he's only here in spirit, and to my colleagues from New Mexico, why I'm here to thank you for changing my life as well, is that he could have never imagined that that kid one day would be standing up for others and using the rule of law not just the rule of law in itself, but a rule of law that believes in justice, to pay back all those early mornings that he sacrificed. So I'm cognizant of the sacrifice you make, and I'm just here to tell you not to give up, but that you really are special superheroes with special powers, because ultimately we're all just normal individuals. And then you give us an ability to believe in ourselves. And then you give us an ability to go get power. And then you give us an ability to understand justice. And you can take a son of a mother who is afraid to go into a public school and then have no problem suing the largest for-profit colleges when they abuse students in student lending. That's why you're my superheroes. And so I'm only here to thank you tonight for that wonderful opportunity of the TRIO program. We had no idea the things that we were going to do together, but I'm only here to give you solidarity. Don't give up, and thank you from the bottom of my heart for allowing me to fight for justice and try to make this a little bit better country. Thank you.